I found out that you can earn by gaming when I was 12 or 13 years old. Milan? You're an infant, bro. We just qualified to Montreal and this guy on Twitter DMs me, come hang to my place. We didn't qualify to the last major, yes. What do they ban other maps first then? I've got this feeling that we're all kinda, capable. If we need to win the major to get to the Invi, we'll win it. The first time I thought about the possibility of making money from video games was when I was around 13. I'd been playing Russian shooters back then, and even for those games, tournaments were held. I knew that I can reach a level where I can attend them as well. I got inspired when I was around 15, when I watched professional CS. The first team I started cheering for was Virtus.Pro, the Poles. Then I moved to Dota. I was looking at all this and thought that I want to and will do anything to reach my dream. I found myself on a team when I was 17. I couldn't even imagine that I can get paid for this and I can get a future life out of all this. I was just playing, I enjoyed it. The competitive scene was giving me adrenaline and drive. Well, all these reasons why people play competitive games. We'd gotten our first money when we qualified to the Pro League for the first time. We knew what the rough salaries are when you qualify to the Pro League. And then I remember me and Joystick lying at a boot camp. Yes, we lived together and shared the room. So we were lying and we thought, god damn, we're about to have a real nasty salary. It clicked for us then. I didn't really realize at first, I just played for fun. I wasn't really chasing it, I didn't have a goal of becoming a pro player. I just played, I knew that I was very strict, and then I got invited to a team and got my first contract. Showed it to my parents and said, see, I wasn't playing for nothing. And I knew it was my job. When I'd been playing CS, we attended our first tournaments with some guys. There wasn't any really big prize money, but I did manage to earn a buck or two. And I realized I can multiply it. My journey had started before CS. I found out that you can earn by gaming when I was 12 or 13 years old. I'd been playing a Russian shooter, I was in a clan there, and I was paid for playing in pro matches. They were guys in their 40s, and I was like 12, and my parents would say, who's it that you're talking to back there? There was a tournament back in the day, Go 4. It was free to register in, you just sign up and play. The prize was 300 bucks for the winner team on the monthly tournaments. You win, you get 300 bucks divided between 5 people, so you get 60 bucks in your PayPal and you're happy. I don't know how much I earned back then. I could get $160 in a month, I could get 0. But that was when I still studied at school. I was getting punished for truancy. I skipped school like 200 times. I was quite a fool. But I'd realized that, yeah, I can make some money. It was too boring. There were classes in my school that you could always skip. I had this great subject called math, algebra and geometry. Our principal was the teacher there, and I skipped everything apart from math. I came to the third class, to math. I sat there for 2 classes and then I would leave from the remaining 2. That's not good, by the way, don't do that. I am but a fool.
Добро пожаловать! Bootcamp Kappa и Virtus.Pro. Время прокачать скиллы и получить доступ к секретной коллекции. Открой для себя капсулу Kappa и Virtus.Pro. И помни, главное внутри.
I've always had strained relationship with my parents regarding video games, so I didn't really share what I did, what I wanted. I never shared my personal dreams, goals, wants with my parents. My mom doesn't follow it at all. She does support me naturally. She wants me to do good. But yeah, she doesn't exactly follow me or cheer for me. I think I've got this classic situation where your cables are taken away because you were playing instead of studying. Wasting time playing again. I wish you studied instead. But ultimately, the way it worked out, everyone is happy. I think every pro player has this parent situation. When I attended my first tournaments, I got invited to a team when the guys had already qualified to the LAN stage. So I joined the team and I'm like, hey mom, I'm going to Milan to a LAN. Milan? You're an infant, bro. I'm like, don't sweat it, mom. I'ma go and win. It'll all be fine. So I did. And that's that. I was like, see ma, we won like $1 billion. At first it was like, obviously weird for the parents. Playing video and getting money, what? And then when you prove it's all real, they get into it. The entire family watches the games and cheers. The parents initially didn't know about this industry. I tried getting them into it little by little, and when I started attending my first tournaments, they said they saw that it's possible. I don't sit there for hours for nothing. I actually spend my time with benefit. The parents, I don't know how they reacted. Mom was shocked at first, then she kind of accepted it. I gave her all the contact of our old manager. He called her and they talked. He persuaded her that everything is gonna be wonderful. And that's how I got to my first LAN. Met everyone and stuff. I knew them before, but I met them in person. Roughly speaking, I sort of got into a list of Kirill Zolotov, the great scout of Rainbow Six, the one and only. There weren't any issues. The only issue was that I was skipping school. They kept calling my mom and scolded her in my stead. I don't know, why should I be embarrassed? I've got somewhere after all. I do play in some tournaments. I earn by myself, I'm independent, that's it. I don't think I should be embarrassed of that. When I was 15 or 16, Kirill set me as a coach and told me, alright, now talk with these dudes. Roughly speaking, he got me into the list. I feel like he found Dan the same way, so, well, big up. I miss him. I think he misses me too. I started playing R6 with my friend. This was the first year after the release. We bought the game for some awfully large price, like 30 or 25 bucks. Now it costs like a few bucks. So when we played it for our first 100 hours, 100 to 150 hours together, we forgot about it. That's it. I hadn't played it with no other friend. And all these friends, all the new people I've met in the game itself. Discord, TeamSpeak, Twitch channels, I've met more and more people, and I play with the guys I'd met online. What do tattoos mean? Can you show them? Pisces. I'm Pisces, and my memory is akin to a goldfish. And this is something Egyptian, something cool. I don't even remember what it does mean exactly. My mate, he's a CS and Dota caster. He has got the same exact one. Stole it from him. I'm thinking about getting face stats too, like a skull on the forehead. Video games used to be a hobby, now it's a job, so to speak. And the practice becomes routine. And you understand that you need another hobby. Burnout? Yeah. Sometimes I just can't be arsed to explain to normies what I do. Like, honestly, I don't have a huge ego, but explaining that esports has money and sponsors to regular people, that I work 24/7, that I work not less, maybe even more than you do, and I earn probably even more than you do. I'm not gonna explain all that, am I? I just say I'm a student. Very often I tell my peers that I'm just a student. Feels easier for me. Well, if I see that the person wouldn't get it, if I tell them esports, they'll say, what are you, insane? What even is this esports? So I just say, I play video games. And they ask, what, are you getting money? I say, yeah. And then I say nothing else. Actually, very often, especially at barbers, like when you've got nothing to do, they start asking you, the barber or whatever. They just ask what do you do, and you're like, oh, I play video, I get money. And every single one of them has the exact same questions. Everyone always takes the same template, and they're always the same. Like, so you actually sit and play, and you earn money? So yeah, the people are definitely interested, because I don't think they often hear anything about esports. And there's just interest to learn about this profession. It feels nice whenever people are truly surprised like that. I'm telling you, the people that aren't related to esports, the ones who are clueless about what it is, for them it's just... For me, well, I just got used to it. Since day one, our team was more of a, you know, I still don't consider us professionals, but that's just me. Professionals? Yeah, we kind of built this boys playing football in the hood kind of vibe. I think that's how our team is. It's not very professional, but instead, It makes you not just grow closer. We got this feeling that we all are capable. I think you get this feeling from knowing each other well. We're good mates, nobody's talking behind someone's back. We don't have this, like, it's just a job. Like in Europe, or, I don't know, do they think like that in any CIS teams? In Europe, this mentality is very common. It's your job, these are your colleagues, you come to the workplace with them, you practice, and that's that. Now you can say your feedback or whatever. In our case, we're brutally honest, like, you're a moron, and that's that. That is what your conversation revolves around, and you solve your conflicts. Sometimes it's a pro, other times it's a con. If we somehow mix that with professionalism, because oftentimes you've got people holding grudges, or in contrast saying things they wouldn't say to people they don't know so good. When you're mates for so long, you'll start behaving a bit loose. This helps whenever you've actually got problems, or you've actually got to do something. Your team gets so united. I think it's very rare for other teams. I've known Dan for, first of all, we were peers. We're both 2001. I've known him since I was like 15. Like, we used to play ranked. We used to play ranked with foreigners and all. We would just laugh our asses off. Then we played various tourneys, Go 4s included. So I've pretty much known Dan since the beginning of my journey. Joystick and Shepherd also play ranked together. Hanged out in Discord and TeamSpeak a lot. Our team was basically always very sociable. We always go on vacations together. If we've got an opportunity to hang out, we do. We play games together. We just hang out in Discord, not even playing games sometimes, just chatting. So we are normal people. Regular people, not depressed weeps. We just connect well, enjoying our lives, that's it. That can be both a pro and a con. Sometimes I think that this friendship blinds us. And sometimes someone can't say out loud what they truly think about the critical mistakes you're making. We sometimes can't be harsh because of how long we've hung out.
Не знаю, проходили ее год. И там что-то типа, они ее год проходили, они прошли только процентов 30. И так далее.
Значит, сегодня идем в это, Chain Together.
Я уже предлагал.
We didn't qualify to the last major, yes, that did happen. I think it was a number of factors all coming together. A snowball of problems. First of all, it was right after the Invitational. Maybe we were too unfocused, maybe we got used to LAN too much. And after the break we tried to start playing the same way we did on the Invitational. And it's unclear if it doesn't work online, or we didn't have the proper atmosphere that we had on the Invitational to play the same way online. We took a wrong path. The playstyle had changed back then. We had started to forget basic things. The way we'd started playing worked really bad. Ultimately, it all went down horribly wrong. And even at the stage, we had the echo of the problems that we had gotten since the last major, the one we didn't qualify to. They're still there. We must have recognized our problems too late. Nothing good has come out of this, because we had to do some radical changes in how we will act in the game. And we realized that only when we lost 2 games in this stage, then we realized we need changes. Always started calling, and turns out he understands what to do in game the best. And we just started listening to him, and he's almost solo got us to the major. To be real frank about it, I think in Rainbow Six, a lot depends on the patch. I have never played Shield Heroes in my life. The majority of my team also have never played Shield Heroes. What happens after the Invi where we got 3rd place? We played great in my opinion, by the way. 1 step from 2nd place. The only thing that was bugging us for the whole tournament was a walking rock with a shield, so-called Montaigne. Then what happens after the Invi? Ubisoft released a so-called nerf, the Montaigne nerf. It was absolutely not a nerf, it was a freaking buff. After the Invi, we naturally go on a break. We don't practice for 2 or 3 weeks. Everyone has completely unrelated thoughts. had to rest for a second. We've had a very good year. We attended every LAN apart from Riyadh. We practiced a lot and got very tired. We had to get our stuff together, and at that moment they released a patch that buffs every team that can play shield heroes. People start abusing it hard, and we don't know how to counter it. It is really hard to counter it. Even now, when we were doing this vertical video, how do you counter Montaigne? And you just sat there and got crickets in your head. And that is my real reaction. I do not know how to counter Montaigne. As I understand this, shield heroes buff caught us off guard hard, and in order to adapt, we needed time. I think if we're ever lucky, there will be a hard nerf of shield heroes in some patch, and then I think we'll win any tournament. Well, I don't know how can you argue against this. It's tough to play, even now. Yes, it's cool that we qualified, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it'll be hard. It was hard before too. It's a tendency that's going against us. The meta constantly changes towards what's uncomfortable for us. The maps change to what's uncomfortable for us. Instead of improving, you always have to catch up. No, I mean your leg, it's straight. It's just that I always wear pants one size bigger. Me too. You see, your leg just doesn't suddenly get wider at the end, it's straight. This is a track top. Track top? What do you want? Track top. You know how they started calling these clothing items with their English names in Russian? Long sleeve, track top, hoodie. A coat without zipper has a zipper. For the past half a year, I personally tried getting my individual shape as much as I could, just so that I could shut our weak spots with myself, roughly speaking. Always was strategically hard for the whole year. This year I wasn't focusing on IGLing, on calling, and instead I was focused to play my own game since I didn't get the meta. When you're individually good, you can call something. For half a year I was just getting my shape to at least play decent individually, so I wasn't really IGLing or anything. Always overtook this rule, and he's very good at it. He's done a lot to qualify for Montreal. I think I have to give him props here. I can't say that I see obvious changes, since they happen bit by bit every day. You progress, you adapt, you try to change something, and overall for me the picture wasn't changing much. We just try to understand how to find our own game, and during our practice we try to find what we lack. Many people can think that we're lazy, that we can't practice a map. After the first loss on Labs, they buried us. Well, the fact that other teams play Labs doesn't mean that... Well, why do they ban other maps for us then? Can't they play the maps that are 30 years in the game? Of course they can. And we can play Labs as it turned out. It's just that we don't want to pick a random map. We want to play what we're confident in. And if you lose it, you have to be responsible. If we lose Labs, okay, unlucky. But if we lose on Clap, for instance, I know who's at fault, why is he at fault, and so on and so forth. Other maps where I've been playing for ages now, and I know what I have to do at every second of the round, and if I lose, I know who to blame and why. More important and more prestigious. And more prestigious, obviously in Invi, that's a no-brainer. Invi, 100%. That's a dream. I have it in my dreams when I sleep. Winning an Invi twice is a dream. Winning it once, well, I'll be shocked. An Invi. I don't care about majors. Only Invi. I won a major. When I win an Invi, I will have won all the tournaments in the game, then I can retire. And Invi, of course. First of all, the prize pool is bigger. Second of all, this is a goal we've been heading towards for a long time now. We strive to win it, but every time we're one step away from it. Second place, third place, it's always that little bit that we lack. For me, it's important how we play. The shape that we've got at the present moment. If I understand that we can destroy everyone in our present shape, or at least reach a good stage, or like if I have a list of teams that we can destroy, I don't have a problem with that. That means we're on a good level. But when you just assess yourselves by tournaments, like oh, this tournament was good, that one wasn't good. For me, it's kind of irrelevant, though I can rate our performance at Riyadh. You know, when the Arabs came in and they were like, this is
esports World Cup.
and you think, damn, that's good. You know, it's like the International. I just don't think that Invitationals are like TI and R6. Like, I don't think the level is that high. It's hard to rate opponents because every 3 months the meta changes completely. People start playing different. A patch has recently come out, and I can't say for sure how's everyone gonna play. And teams always play in a different way on LAN. They either start playing better, or they start playing worse, or in a completely different way. You can't rate anyone. But based on the experience of previous tournaments, FaZe always played really good on LANs. FaZe, G2 because of their playstyle. You know, a good for LAN playstyle. They have this very good for LAN playstyle. I think FaZe are the favorites. FaZe, BDS, just because BDS play LANs very well. They know when to abuse an operator. Liquefact knows a lot how to use his players. Or it's the players who adapted to the point when they understand where to be and how to act. They realize their weak and strong sides, I mean BDS. I think their roster is very balanced because the Brit plays Montaigne and other cancer. Liquefact crawls around a lot. Solotov, Shaiko, Yuzus. They're a very sick trio of gunners. Plus, they're a group of people who can just fucking destroy out of nowhere. And BDS looks strong, but I'd bet on FaZe on this major. I think they, judging on the Brazilian league, they won a lot of hard games. They had a lot of 8-7, 8-6 games where they barely qualified, as I remember. Every game of theirs was super close, plus the Brazilian league is much more competitive than European. That's just obvious, that's just a fact. Because in Europe you've got teams like Kents, Wild, which don't have much experience, all performed well in this season. It's a fact that there are teams less competitive than Brazilians. I think that Brazilian competitive scene is way more stacked, plus the games are mostly on LAN, so they have stronger scene than in Europe. And based on that, I think that FaZe can go hard on this one. I don't know about other regions, but BDS is one of the strongest teams for me. I'll only name them because we played and followed them the most. We haven't played other regions in a long time, so I can't say. I would never exchange one LAN victory in a full stadium to 10 online victories, even if there was some crazy amount of money. I've already won online. Won not once, not twice. These victories don't give you any title, so to speak. But when you play on LAN, you play with the whole world, with the strongest of the world. And at least once, I'd like to win. With a stacked stadium, one victory. Of course I traded for these 10 online victories, 100%. It's emotions for the rest of your life. When you play on LAN, even in Brazil, nobody cheered for us there. Well, some amount of people did, but it's such a vibe anyway. I remembered it for the entire life. I'm gonna tell my grandchildren how I played in Brazil on stage. Undescribable emotions. And online, you're either sat at home or at a boot camp with the guys that I've played for 6 years. We've been playing these online matches for 6 years. Like, winning online is still sick. You can see how we scream like crazy on face cams after every victory, because it is earned with a great effort. Playing online is obviously much more enjoyable than online. You see the game from a different perspective. You start feeling your character like a lethal weapon. Because when you're playing online, you aren't always sure about some of your plays because you've got peeker's advantage, and there's 9 ping in the game. Because there are people like that, often you can't play like you would on LAN. You can't just hold an angle, even though it's a default thing to do. But on LAN, you can do all that. You uncover your true potential on LAN after all this grind online. And if it depended from me, I'd only play LANs. It's much more comfortable playing on LANs. The game feels different, you can do things that you can't do online. Ping allows to play more aggressive, more confident. I suppose that Canada is the heart of Rainbow Six because Invi was always held there. I think Rainbow Six fans know us. We've been in this game for a long time now. Like, popular, I don't know, in Brazil. Yeah, Brazilian. With the drums. 500,000 followers. Fred Bazzetti. So just qualified to Montreal and this guy on Twitter DMs me, "Come hang to my place in Montreal, yo. Waiting for you at my spot." Some random guy from Twitter. There is a lot of fans around the world, Japan, Brazil, and so on. A hell of a lot. Everyone writes me, I can't always reply to everyone unfortunately, but I think there are our fans in Canada. With experience, I realized you'll always have hate comments. Some of them lost their bet, and so on. The people that write comments never see how you actually play, how you communicate, what happened in the game at that moment, and they can't assess what happened there. Open your eyes, even the most garbage meta where it was impossible to qualify, we still qualified to a major, and we now have a chance to qualify to Invi. I don't want to jinx it, I'll even knock on the wood. Like, so much shit on Telegram, on Twitter, everywhere. Oh, these VP are so fucking garbage. Like, what can I say? How can you stay on a good level for that much time, qualify to lands, and then get shit like, "You're such bots"? Even though it's obvious that we're just getting railed by shield heroes, everyone sees that, but whenever shield heroes rail us again, they once again go, "Oh, VP are fucking noob." Then BDS get railed by shield heroes, and everyone goes, "Oh, 2 shield heroes rail BDS, oh no." How is that possible? Why nobody says BDS are noobs if they get railed by 2 shield ups? And then when we get railed by 2 shield ups, we're the noobs. Like, haters, you're retarded, fuck off. No offense. I personally just want to qualify to Invi. On the other tournaments, I just exist. Obviously, I try my best and play, but whenever it's Invi, I'm getting an emotional boost. You can see that. When we played stage, I screamed. Ah, nice. And when it was Invi, I just knocked the shit out of the desks. I hit them with my elbows, because an Invi is something I haven't won yet. I have to win one. I feel it's gonna be hard. It's a hard meta. Damn shield ups, just an embarrassment. Obviously, yeah, it's cool if we're gonna play shield ups and all. But I like the Rainbow Six where it's more than just gambling what window are you getting into, and if you're lucky that there's no trap there. I don't know, I feel some sort of relief actually. As we're going there as outsiders, so to speak. We have been underperforming lately, and now nobody expects sick results from us. And that may be a good thing for us. Some teams may prepare less to us, and so on. We can play off of that and get some victories. I think on this major, because it's a LAN, we always catch our 2nd, 3rd, 5th wind. We'll get a fighting spirit, and I hope that we'll manage to find the way that we can play in both at the major, and it'll work, and after the major, because we got lost a lot in terms of preparation, in terms of meta. We got lost in everything, and I hope that it is at the major that we'll find the strength. Rail everyone at the major to get to the Invi to play another tourney this year. Not shit the bed personally, and as a team. We can also not shit the bed, but get as far as we can and show which teams we can win. I hope we'll get the victory. I never try to guess. The main thing is to get to the Invi. If we need to win the major to get to the Invi, we'll win it. That's the plan, guys. We'll do our best. And you guys cheer us. And we'll try our best to not disappoint you. We really want to make you guys happy when it's tournament after such a long time. I think we deserved it. Though we deserve to win in Invi even more. Winning a major is okay too, but in Invi, we really need it. But we need to get there first. To do that, we gotta win the major. We'll win it then. I hope we'll get some kind of a burst like an in Brazil, when nobody understood what we were even doing there, and in the end we were in the top 3. I hope it goes like that. Thanks for watching, thanks for cheering. We'll try our best not to disappoint you and give our best every round. For all the kind words, for the supporting words, I want to thank you all so much. I once again want to see you in any sphere, in any social media, any comment, any picture, any supporting word. I'm always happy to see it again. Thanks so much for the support, thanks for cheering for us, and thanks for the nice comments. A lot of people wrote us when we qualified to Montreal, that finally we got onto a LAN. Many waited for this, so thank you all for cheering. Love you all, hug you all, as usual. Come here, come here. Where? Are you the captain? No, I'm a fucking hobo. You'll be the captain now. Pasha, point at the guys, make this gesture. Nice. Okay, now do it one more time. Hold up, hold up. Watching the camera, keep your eyes open. Once again, Pasha, do it. Inshallah.